You know, recently someone asked me a question in one of the Save Our Bees groups we have. You know, thanks for the information. You know, tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you think we should be doing, right? Well, the bottom line is this, is that unless we change our social paradigm regarding pesticides, the world as we know it is screwed. I believe that, as many others, okay, that the honeybee, the bee, is a canary. And most people don't realize, but they actually started collapsing in their early, mid 2000s in Europe, and basically they really started crashing in 2006. There was a massive animal crash, you know, birds falling out of the sky, and you probably seen the video of the news, fish just dying in oceans, seals, yada yada yada, right? Just mass dying in early 2011. So all of this signifies what I call the collapse of growth, right? The collapse of growth, and the growth of animals, the financial growth, all of that. So, and I believe that if you understand the diffusion of innovation, and you understand the growth of pesticides, you'll notice that the decline in species and everything else matches pretty much the same, right? As pesticides go up, it goes down, right? And there's great EPA data on the collapse of bees since the 1950s, 40s to 50s, and you can see the bees just going down, down, down. And if you look at any of the market diffusion of pesticides, they're going up and up. Directly, just it's a perfect exponential function, right? So the thing is we can't do anything as long as we're reliant on pesticides, especially these systemic pesticides, which have a 15-year half-life. 15-year, which means they're in the environment before they break up. 15 years plus, okay? Just 15 years is the minimum. Not only that, they're water soluble. So, you know, it gets into insects, it gets into the sky, you know, animals drinking water, whatever. And especially insects that don't have a detoxification gene, right? Detox gene, like we do. We have a hangover. It builds up and it just kills them. Or like bees, they bring the pollen back and the food back for next generations, and then the other bees are feeding these bees poison. You know, the pupae, whatever they're called, right? The larvae. So the larvae grow up sick and already susceptible to the pesticides. You know, when you're dealing with ecosystems, you're dealing with close systems, and you mess up one system, you mess up them all. So we have to really get vocal on, you know what, I need to go down that road and check that out sometime. We'll see where that goes. We really need to get vocal on pesticides. We need to stop them before they, you know, they're already in your system. And that's another thing. You know, Monsanto and Bayer and all these people said, you know what, our body will break it down, it's no big deal, you know, it won't be. Well, science has shown that systemic pesticides are in our bodies, you know, in pregnant women, breast milk, you know, again, you're feeding your, you know, you're feeding a fetus, right? And it's in the blood of the mother going into. These are chemicals, and ultimately, you know, because we're dealing with selfish corporations, that are only interested in a few stakeholders. Ultimately, your interest, the community interest, isn't their interest. As long as they're convincing farmers to use this poison because it will save them some time, there's nothing we can do. So to answer your question, what's your message? Well, unless we start going Coney 2012 on pesticides, we're screwed.